If you've ever been ghosted, left hanging in on a sales call, or felt the sting of a client or a colleague, suddenly go silent. This episode is for you. We are driving deep into a surprising truth about your brain. Your mind would rather hear bad news than be left with no ending at all. Yeah, that's right. Whether it's a breakup with no explanation, you go on one date and you think it's great and you never hear from them, a prospect that never called you back and you thought everything was going wonderfully, or a show that ended with no real ending, Sopranos. Your brain hates what are called open loops. And here's the good news today. You're going to learn how to use this science to stop obsessing over unfinished stories, understand how this applies in business and in leadership, and master how to strategically use open loops to boost sales, keynote talks, and influence. Let's put you back in the driver's seat.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my podcast today in the driver's seat with me, Janine Driver.
Are you ready for one of the coolest podcasts on the web? Janine Driver, she's an expert on body language, persuasion, emotional intelligence, decision-making hack. This is In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver.
When someone ghosts you, whether in dating or business or friendship, your brain enters detective mode. You replay the last interaction.
Was it something I said? Did they find someone else? Should I follow up again? Did I wait to call too long, right? Should I call sooner?
Here's the science. Your dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, the part of your brain that registers physical pain, also lights up during social rejection, especially when it's unresolved. That's why ghosting can feel like getting punched in the gut, even when nothing technically happened. This pain, that pain of being ghosted, lingers not just because of the loss, but because the story has no ending. In humans, we are wired for a story. We crave a beginning, a middle, an end. So when we don't get one, our brain keeps the file open. It's called an open loop. And it's questioning, refreshing, like an email box that never delivers the email. And this isn't just emotional fluff. A 2020 study from the Journal of Psychology of Religion and Spirituality found that when people can assign meaning, even if they don't have the answers, they report lower cortisol levels, better emotional regulation, and higher resilience. In short, unfinished endings stress out our brain. Naming and reframing them can set you free. The TV and movie files still open in your head. Let's play a quick game, shall we? What do these movies have in common? The final episode of The Sopranos. The Rachel got off the plane moment in Friends.
All of a sudden you're there and saying these things, and now I'm just sitting here and thinking of all the stuff I should have said and I didn't. I mean, I didn't even get to tell you that I love you too, because of course I do. I love you. I love you. I love you. What am I doing? I love you. I've got to see you. I've got to get off this plane.
Oh my God.
Excuse me, miss. Please sit down. No, I'm sorry. But I need to get off the plane, okay? I need to just tell someone that I love them.
Miss, I can't let you off the plane.
Let her off the plane!
I am afraid you are going to have to take your seat.
Oh, please, miss, you don't understand.
Try to understand!
Oh, come on, miss. Isn't there any way that you can just let me off the...
No! Oh my God, did she get off the...
Newman's mysterious job in Seinfeld, or that glowing red finger in E.T. as he says,
I'll be right
They leave us wondering. They leave us wanting. They leave us open looped. Your brain does not like gaps in the narrative. That's why shows like Lost or How I Met Your Mother gets fans angry when the ending doesn't give some type of solid closure. Because in the absence of answers, your brain creates its own. It fills in the blanks, as you might imagine, even with stories that aren't even true, like television shows. That's where drama lives. And that's where anxiety is born. So what does this mean in the business world? Let's say you lose a client and they never tell you why. You don't just move on. You spiral. You say to yourself, quote,
Did I charge too much? Did I say something wrong? Maybe they didn't like the proposal?
Open loops don't just affect relationships. They erode confidence, kill creativity, and waste time. But here's the twist. As a motivational and keynote speaker, I use open loops to my advantage. When companies hire me for a keynote, I might say to the audience, I'm going to teach you 4 secrets of leadership today in communication. The SCARF method, CARF. And then I only give them 3. Or I'll even say up front, we can only focus on 3, not the 4. Why? Because if I gave them all 4, then the door is shut. But if I give them 3, then they continue to think about me. They'll stay curious. They want to know, well, what was the F in the CARF? It's called strategic ambiguity. And if you're in sales or branding or in content creation, open loops, when done right, keep people leaning in. Dan Pink does one in his TED Talk that he did a while back that went viral. Guess what? TikToks do them all the time. People get mad that, there's no second video, but yet those are the videos that are watched by millions. Even in my TED Talk that's been watched by, I think now 7 million people or 7 million times, I say there's 3 areas of decision making: research, reasoning, and result. And we're going to focus on just this one area, the reasoning. But the other ones are cool too. That unfinished information that drives you kind of crazy. And it creates an open loop and you kind of feel a little bit betrayed. So too much mystery and then people feel manipulated. So it's a balance. So I'll say, hey, here are these 3 things. We're going to focus on this one. That's how I'll use open loops, to build that curiosity. Close loops to build trust. So sometimes I might close that loop at the end of my keynote, but then I'll open up one more for the road. It helps that I have ADHD, so I naturally do open loops constantly. I think these podcasts could be 5 minutes long if my ADD wasn't taking me all over the place. So what happens? Have you been ghosted emotionally, professionally? Here's what to do instead of ruminating. First, name the loop. Say out loud, quote,
This story has no ending, and I'm not going to write one that isn't mine to write.
Second, bless the desire for closure. Instead of saying, I should be over this, say,
It's okay to want resolution. I'm a human being. It's human.
Third, give yourself a closing sentence. Try something like, quote,
I don't know why they left, but I know I showed up in truth. I was authentic. That deal fell through, but maybe it cleared space for a better one.
That's what I believe as a Christian girl, Romans 8:28. The goal isn't to pretend that it didn't happen. The goal is to let your prefrontal cortex come back online. That's your executive function. You're saying, hey, I know what's happening here. That's your decision-making power. And that's putting you in the driver's seat. So here's your challenge this week. In your business, where are you leaving clients in open loops with unclear proposals or unclosed emails? Tighten your message, wrap it up. 2, in your relationships, where are you ghosting people? It takes a second to say, hey, I don't think we're a fit, or I don't think this is going to work out because fill in the blank. Even if it's not comfortable for you, close that loop. In your mindset, what story have you been replaying that has no clear ending? Can you bless the unknown and put a period on your question mark? Because maybe your next level of peace isn't about getting the answers. It's about accepting that some chapters end without a final page. I'm Janine Driver, and you've been listening to In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver, where I decode body language and brain science and bold moves that help you lead better in life and in business. If this episode helped you see an unfinished ending in a new way, share it with a friend. And remember, when you leave a little mystery behind, do it on purpose, because a little curiosity can go a long way. It keeps them thinking of you. Until next time, you're not just back in the driver's seat, you're driving with wisdom. By the way, always riding shotgun is the truth. Bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver. Use these insights to make your life easier and relationships stronger. Remember, you matter and belong, and you're not alone on this journey. Until next time, keep driving forward. Bye now.